Hi everybody, it's Louise again, and I wanted to show you how I made the pop-up easel cards. That's what I'm going to call them. And let me show you. I already showed this before, but I just wanted to show you what I wanted to create, but it's going to be a different style. So it's kind of like my easel cards, but it looks more like a pop-up because the way this part of it pops up is like half of the card sticks up instead of the whole thing, you know, being up like a regular easel card. Now I needed to make another card. Actually, I had to make a couple more cards, but I wanted to do another one like this, but in a shabby chic style, and it's still going to be Christmas. So I'm going to be using my digital kit Angelic Christmas, since it is a shabby chic Christmas themed digital kits, and I still had sheets left over that I hadn't used, so I didn't print out anymore. I only printed out my kit one time and still have lots to play with here, so I'm just going to show you a few of the sheets that I still had left. And these are 8x8. You can print them down smaller, like to a 6x6. You can zoom into certain areas and just print that. And this is part of one, and this is what I had left. I had cut off like a piece of this for something. I have also more pieces here and a lot of cutouts, which comes with my kit. And I'm probably going to be using a few of these cutouts along with this, and then some other embellishments. I haven't pulled them out yet, but I will. Let's see here. Let me show you first how I start off. I gotta get a card, a full card, so you can see. Okay, sorry about that. I should have been more prepared. So I bought packs of craft paper type cards. They're pre-scored. I don't know if you can see the line right there. And the size, they also come with envelopes too. This is the envelope that comes with it. So it's like the craft paper. So this measures, the width is normally about 7 inches. It's just under 7 inches. And the whole card itself is 10 inches. So it folds down to a 5-inch width. For my easel cards, I like to square it off and cut off a piece. So I'll cut off down to a 5-inch strip. I cut off the strip, so I'm left with these. You know, I just cut them off right there, just using my cutter, and boom, so that I then have my 5-inch card. And then I score the top flap in half. I just score it along the same length of the card using my scoreboard, but you can use like a padded mat and then a bone folder. I use this with the scoreboard. So then I have that ready, and I had already scored a few because I knew I was going to be doing a couple more cards. But you can use any size card you want, but it usually comes out better if it's some kind of a square shape for the easel part of it. Now, on another tutorial that I had, I showed you how to make the easel card, and I would cut out a square piece, and then I would also cut out another square and cut it in half, and then glue half here and then the other half on the back of that piece that sticks out. So to make this kind where there's no backing here, you need, where's my cutter? You still need a 5-inch square, and then you're also going to need a 5-inch square for the inside, but I actually cut like a hair off the top so it doesn't impede when you try to open and close this, because if it's exactly 5 inches as it is here, there's going to be a little bit of issues trying to open and close this. Now I was cutting, I'm going to cut this off screen. I was cutting out this image from the paper, so I'm going to do that off screen. That's going to be the part that actually sticks up. What I need is my background, something that's going to lay on, and I want some color, a little more. I might use this one here. Yeah, I want to throw blue in here. This one has this image, but I don't want that in it. I just want like this part of it. So I'm going to cut that lengthwise to 5 inches. Well, I'm just going to cut a 5-inch square out of it. Keep it in mind the area that you want to show. And then I could still use this on another project later. Save all these large scraps. You can do a tag out of this or something. So there's that one. And what's going to happen is I'm going to cut this in the center, and that's just going to be like that. So let me do that now. So 1/2 of 5 is 2 1/2. Okay. So this is going to get adhered down to both sides of my top flap. When it's open, it's going to look like one image, one card, but then once you lift it, it's going to be like this, and the other stuff is going to come here and come up here. Before I continue, I'm going to cut my inside part. And let's see, what should I use? I might use this one. Let's see if there's enough here. Yeah, because I like this part here. Plus it brings the blue that I'm going to have on the outside on the inside. So I shouldn't need these. And we'll cut. I'm going to cut lengthwise. Let's see. 5 inches length. And I'm still going to save my pretty little angel for something else. And then it's going to get cut 5 inches. It's going to be cut under 5 inches, like that first line. Like I said, it'll leave a little bit of space to open and close your card. And then I still got this Merry Christmas here that I could use. I think that's all I need this for. I'm going to start adhering the inside. And I do want to ink this, but I can ink it afterwards. I can always open it like this and ink it. I just want to start to get as much done on camera. And where's my stick? Now normally I use the quick dry adhesive, but lately I have been using this one. Only because this has been bothering me lately a lot because of work and with the holidays. So with this, all I gotta do is, swipe it, and it actually sticks very well. I've done all the cards that you have seen so far is what I used this glue, except for like these parts here. That's when I broke out this glue. So it's just because of my hand mostly. Plus it's a dry ink. I mean a dry glue. It won't wet the paper. Sometimes it warps paper a little bit, but then it dries flat. You just got to make sure you put enough, especially on the corners because they will lift. You can also start with the repositionable glue, so you can see how it looks first, and if you don't like it, you could take it off and reposition it. So Okay, so I'm going to just stick this down, make sure it's even. I'll just do like this. I close it up and make sure it's even. And get my foam folder. Just to make sure it's all down. Make sure my corners are down. The edges. And you can always go back and add more glue to your corners and stuff. This side might come up. I don't think I have enough glue there, but for now, for show. If you're going to be stamping anything on the back, I'm going to do this now on camera. I suggest you do it now before you put embellishments and stuff. So I have my little handcrafted by stamped it. I just keep it on the block. It's two different stamps together on here, so and you could move it around. So try to stamp this stuff first before I go too far and sign it. And sometimes I sign with a D and sometimes I don't. D is actually my middle initial, and then I'll put my company, my KSP. Alright, anyway, inside is done. Now we're going to do this part here. Trying to make sure that I keep it aligned because you still want it to look like it's one piece when it's closed. Trying to make sure I get my corners good. Okay. I just keep checking to make sure that this is lined up with that fold. I'm a little crooked here, but that's okay. I don't know if you can see that. You probably won't even tell when I'm done. Okay, now the other side. And you're going to kind of butt it next to the other one. Make sure you line up your design, your image. Make sure that it's going to open and close without, you know, hitting each other with two seams. Okay, see how it still looks like one image, but you can open it. And I like how I use the same paper or the same colors because it blends together with that bottom one, even though I'm going to be putting stuff here. Alright, so now that you have your basic done, you're going to figure out what is it that you want to pop up. So for me, I was cutting out that one image that came from that paper here, so I'm putting that out, and it's going to go somewhere. Once I cut it out, it's going to be going either on the side or in the middle here, so then it's going to pop up, and then I'm going to add more stuff. So let me take out these things. I got to cut that off. Let's see, I might be using this, and I've already pre-cut all these pieces from my collection so that I'd be, they'd be ready to use whenever I was ready. So I even have little sentiments. So I know I have to use one of these because it is a Christmas card. It's until you actually add that, it's just going to look like a shabby chic card. So I even have this. So all this stuff I pre-cut, and what I do is I just take my papers to the sofa when I'm sitting there with my husband watching shows or movies, and I'm just cutting away at all the sheets and then just having them ready. On these, I left the white edge. I didn't mind that. Oh, I might even use this one. There's flowers, there's roses in here. You see how this could just be for a shabby chic project. It doesn't have to be it doesn't even have to be for just Christmas. I might use this. Anyway, so you get the idea. I'm going to start cutting this, and I'm not going to cut close to the edge too much. I'm just going to leave a little bit of an edge because I am going to ink it to make it a little more vintage looking. So let me just do a little bit so I can show you what I mean as far as how I'm cutting this. And then I'm going to stop recording and just finish cutting. So I don't know if you could see how I left some edge there. It's all going to get inked, so you barely will see it. Alright, so I'm going to stop for a minute to cut this out, see what I'm going to use, and have it ready for you so that I could just continue on camera what I'm doing. Okay, be right back. Alright, so I'm back, and I forgot to, I started going and I forgot to hit record. I finished fussy cutting my little image here, the frame with the little cupid and the flowers. So that's going to be going here, but I'm going to give the whole thing some wings. I'm going to spread apart the wings. Now the wings were just white, and I inked on them some antique linen and then some spun sugar, and gave it like a two-tone effect on the wings. And now on the edges, I'm doing the walnut stain. So that takes care of the area that you see how I have like the white. I didn't fussy cut it all the way to the lines because I knew that most of the stuff was going to get inked. Plus some of these things are very, you know, small and for me hard to cut. I know some people probably could do it, but not me. So anyway, so that's how that looks. And then I'm going to ink this. I'm probably going to ink the card too while I'm at it. And I'm just showing you. When I printed out this paper and the sheet that these come on, I actually printed the reverse side, and you can see it has this like linen pattern on it. So I'm glad I did that actually, because since it's going to be, you're going to see the back and it's not going to be finished, at least it has some kind of print, and this one also has that too. Not all of them have it. I think these are not. It was just certain sheets that I had done that, and this I had printed with a blue. So the ones that I already did print on the back, I think I used most of them on other projects. So anyway, once again, I'm just inking my edges, and that covers up the white areas that I didn't cut out. And I like to use a dark color when I do this to make things look more vintage and old. So it looks like that, and I'm going to do this too. And I'm just going to stop for now, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to continue here, and I'm just going to split my wings apart because I want them to be out a little more so they would show. And hopefully my glue is working. Yep. Let's see here. I'm going to do this first. Make sure it's not sticking out too much. Hopefully that's good. Alright. And I had this plot cut out of the collection, and it was also like a white, almost a white. But what I did was I inked it with some tumbled glass and some more walnut stain to make it look like this. So I just want a little more color. So this is also from the Angelic Christmas kit. And I'm going to have it like peeking out through here. So I'm going to glue it to this piece first. And I want both hands to be peeking out. Alright, this guy's going to go on later. So for now you can do this several ways. You can either glue it flat with some glue, part of it down to this, or you can put it on dimensional on pop dots. If you have like wide ones, kind of like these, this would be good. And then it will lift off this part, which I think I'm going to go ahead and try that, because I don't think I want this to be too flat. Otherwise, you can have it flat like this, and it will pop up like so. But this part will be flat to this. Well, I'm going to try, because I didn't do it on the last one, I'm going to try the pop dots, these square ones. I have the tape, the long one somewhere, but I don't know where I put it. I probably would rather use that. So just guessing where you want it. Let's start with the bottom. And just make sure you put enough. This is why I would rather use like the tape. You just pull out the length that you need. Otherwise, you just gotta keep pulling off all these pieces. And let's see how far I have to go. I don't have to go too much further. I think that's as far as I'm gonna go. Yeah. So remove the backs. So that's just going to give it an extra dimension. Now this image covers a lot of my background, but that's okay. It just looks like it's in the clouds because it's all blue in the background. Anyway, once you lift it, it's going to look like that. So now I'm just going to add my little violin here on the side. And then I'm going to put flowers. Maybe, yeah, it's got to go that way. And I'm also going to put that on pop dots. Where all my pop dots go? Oh, let's see if we're going to get small enough. Got all sizes. Now I'm going to use this. And plus thicknesses. There's a lot of thicknesses around. Put that over. Okay. Now these pop dots are actually recollections, I believe. Yep. And they come with different sizes. So we're just going to stick that. In the center. Okay, that should be good. These are hard to take off. Okay. Try not to cover too much of the cloth. So you might have to lay down a little more. Or stand up more. Okay. Alright, so far. And let's see here. Do I want to use these or do I just want to use dimensional? I think I'll just use some paper flowers and sentiment. Not that one. Whoops. All my stuff's flying everywhere. Okay. That's this one. I suck at cutting straight. Yeah, that's better. Oh. Now we will ink this little piece that I just cut. I didn't like how it looked all straight, so I just, well, you saw what I did. And I think blue is going to work. And you can use inks, you know, your markers, colored pencils, but since I already used this colors, this is going to work. It's going to blend better with, you know, the color that I have in here already. Plus it doesn't go on so dark. And then the walnut stain again. I think I need another color. Do the spun sugar. I'm going to dry it up a little bit because the ink wets the paper. Okay. Some more pop dots or pop squares. This stuff's really sticky. Okay, so far I'm just going to grab some flowers and I'll be right back.